Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center here to congratulate you on the purchase of your Cherokee Arctic Wolf 3660 Suite. Beautiful fifth wheel here. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A few things to take into consideration when parking. On your campsite, you're going to have a slide, but even more room for your awning. Over on your off campsite, numerous slides to leave room to get open. But besides your slides, I also want you to think about where your power and water is. Your power on this unit is going to plug in all the way on the back rear corner, driver's side of your tow vehicle, or as they call it, the off campsite. Plugs in way back here. And then your water docking station is going to be toward the front. So if you're limited with a 30-foot power cord, make sure you get a nice strong long water hose. Alright, once we arrive, unhook our hitch, go through that here in our auto leveling system. So inside your storage here is going to be your BAL leveling system. Instructions are right here. They're pretty simple. I'm sure they went over auto mode with you. We are going to go over manual. So we turn this on. We're going to go to landing gear mode. From there, we're going to extend this up just a little bit, enough to go ahead and make room for your detachment height. Once that is reached, detach your vehicle, pull it completely away. Then we are going to touch manual mode. Manual mode is first going to pull up stabilizer mode because it wants to make sure you have all stabilizers retracted before switching back to manual mode, and it shows your screen. All you have to do is extend. See, extend is highlighted. Extend your rear legs, extend your left leg. These are going to be your front legs. Retract, same thing. Rear, retract. So you got your unit level. Once you got your unit level, which you can tell by your bubble in there, once you got your unit level and stable, we can hook up our power and water. All the way at the rear again is your big long 50 amp cord, pistol grip handle. As you know, they'll go into the left, turn to the right, and then put on your black washer. At the end of that 50 amp, should you need it, in your convenience pack will be a 50 to 30, bring from 50 down to 30 amp, and if you need to plug into a 110 somewhere, also in your convenience pack will be a 30 to 15 amp reducer. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up your water. Docking stations outside. At campsites, we are going to hook up to city water connection. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. Always use this because you don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites. Open up your city water, hook up your water pressure regulator, hook up your hose. One more step before we turn that hose on. To the right here is going to be your hot water heater. Now this door will lift right off here. Attempt to do this one-handed. All we're doing at this point, make sure a drain plug's back in there. Throw some plumber's tape up in there. Get that rod and plug back up in there nice and tight. That'd be 1.125 inches. Once that's in there tight, you can go ahead and turn that hose on. After that hose has been on for a few minutes, go ahead and go inside, open up all your slides, deploy all those, because all I need you to do is get inside and open up your water taps. Open up all your water lines, get a nice steady flow of water going through them, get all the air out of the lines. When you're all water, shut them off. Then you'll know that your hot water heater is full. Come out here and you pull up on this pressure release. If you got water coming out, you're full. Then you know that you can turn on your hot water heater from indoors. All right, now let's say we're gonna go camping. Oh, one more thing on your hot water down here. You see a electric element down here, on off switch. The only time you ever want to turn this on out here is if you're hooked up to 110. Otherwise, turn on your hot water heater indoors. Up here, if your hot water heater doesn't seem to be working, come out here to see if one of these reset bubbles are bubbled out. If they are, simply press them back in. Let's say we're going to go camping, and we're going to be at a campsite. We're going to go boondocking or dry camping as they call it. In that case, we're going to fill up our freshwater tank. No need for a water pressure regulator here. We'll gravity fill this with a hose. Have someone inside watching the levels of your tanks. For your black and gray tank, there's also a freshwater spot. Keep an eye on that. Once it's full, remove that hose, put a cap back on there, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump when hooked up to city water. That's already pressurized. All right, we're all set up with power and water, ready to camp. Let me go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit, continuing here on this little docking station. Cable, satellite, freshwater, city water, black tank flush. We'll talk about that when we dump our black and gray tanks. Again, your hot water heater, flue for your furnace. Two things on that. One, make sure it's never blocked. And two, if you are running it, steer clear of it. It gets pretty hot. Storage is storage. Propane in here, lefty-loosey. Your regulators on the other side. Coming back down off our camp side. There's where we'll hook up the dump. We've got a freshwater drain, gray tank, black tank, another gray tank down there for a galley. Easier to reach once this is slide is closed when we're leaving the campsite. These are access to the back of your fridge. A vent for your microwave. The end around back is your power. Got an outdoor shower here, 751 Clio, work on that. Hot and cold water there. Accessory hitch rack. You are prepped for a backup camera. You can purchase that little device that's on the dash of your tow vehicle. Give you a backup camera for the unit. Spray port hose. We'll hook up there. LP quick connect if you want to do a griddle out here. We do have an outdoor kitchen. Remember how to unlatch it. Just have a fridge. Big outdoor fridge. Some accent lighting. More lighting. 110 with GFCI reset. And a couple spots for storage. A wash-up sink. Make sure you keep this locked up. Talk about your awning. Your awnings, you only want to run that out until you can see your flaps fall down. These will continue to run themselves out and start running themselves up backwards. So keep an eye on it when you do run it out. Looks like an area for a quick connect before. This is all your storage. Leash latch. In case you have a pet you want to bring, more storage. You have the propane. Coming up front, your batteries. Check them every now and then. Make sure those haven't wiggled loose going down the road. That's your battery disconnect. That'll come in important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide and propane detector, but that will disconnect all the battery power to the unit. Docking lights for out front. And that about covers everything out here. Let's go take a look on the inside. Coming up beside the unit, first thing I like to point out is the fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone who's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of an emergency. To my right, starting on the floor, is going to be your access panel to your breaker box and fuses. Ton of 15s in there. Highly recommend you have some of them with you when you go camping. Up here is my control panel. So starting up top, one control. Looks like you do have an app that you can put on your phone to be able to utilize most of these things like lights and slides and awnings from your phone. Over here is where we check the levels of your brand new battery. Fresh water, that's the one I said to hold down when filling up your potable water. Black and gray tanks. Here's your water pump, water heater, inside LED accent lights, outside LED, your main living room lights. Your awning, again, you only want to run that out so you can see that flap. And your bar, that if you hold that button down, it will continue to run itself out past that point. So keep an eye on it. Only run it out as far as you want to. Don't run it out further than it needs to be. Also, as this comes in, I'm going to show you outside LED light. That's going to be your light on your awning there. This little button here is a dimmer for that light. Alright. I'll bring our awning rest way back in now. Shut up our light on that. Here's your slide controls. This is your bunk room slide. Here's your thermostat. Real quickly, crank your air up. Let you hear that going. Come on back, shut your air off. Let's do everything back to off. While I do, up here it's got a Wi-Fi hotspot. Information on that there. Alright, AC shut off. Show you quickly now when I turn the heat on, the furnace kicks on. Do that. You register for that right there. Now when I shut that off, you'll notice it's going to take a couple minutes before that actually shuts off. Alright, it's coming on through here. Your table and chairs. A lot of individual lighting up through these. These are all one-touch lightings. Entertainment center. Come over here and grab your remote. Turn your TV on. When you arrive at campsites, go through and run your digital channel scan. Looks like this is a smart TV they have on here. It's your remote in your remote holder. Also, sound system. Crank that up. Dual zoned. One is indoors, two is outdoors. You can hear it. Shut them both off. Shut them both on. Modes. AV 1 and 2. Bluetooth, HDMI, and FM. Or AM. Change your band here. Touch it once to mute it. Hold it in to shut it off. Fireplace. Not just for looks anymore. I can go through and show you all the pretty colors, but the biggest thing is, or make it brighter or dimmer, biggest thing is the heat. If it's chilly in here in the morning or evening, instead of using up your gas, crank up this electric heater. Still feel the heat coming out. It'll get it toasty in here in no time. Fan runs from this light. I think there's 3 different speeds on that. Shut that back off. A couple of speakers up on the ceiling, USBs and 110s. Show you quickly how to turn your sofa into a bed. Looks like it's tri-fold, so remove your Velcro cushions that are on the back. Grab in the middle. Tends to give you good leverage. Hold your legs out. Lay the back down. And just that quickly, you've got another sleeping quarters. Most importantly, when putting this away, Lift your back up first, otherwise you will damage your sofa. I don't want you to do that. Again, standing in the middle gives you good leverage to bring your legs in and jackknife this down. Turn your cushions and just that quickly, you're back to a sofa. Both recliners are what they call, or I call, parachute pull. Reach in here and pull on the parachute cord. Self-recline, push yourself back. Does have heat, cup holder light, and massage. 3 different speeds on that. Both the same. On your island, I want to mention real quick down here is your 12 volt carbon monoxide propane detector. The reason I mention this 12 volt, it's always running off your battery. So if you are out boondocking, dry camping somewhere, nothing plugged in, charge your battery. Use your battery disconnect to keep this from running your battery down if you're going to be gone all day. Self-explanatory. Microwave, more individual lights, light and fan. Above your cooktop. Turn your panel light. Fold this back, gives you a nice backsplash. Turn this to light, to high, hit your spark, and there's your flame. Do that to all of them. Turn them on. You have to be holding it in at the same time. Get all them running, there we go. So you see how your burner's going. So same thing at the oven. Shut these off. No need for pilot light anymore. Turn this to light, hit your spark here, then turn it to the desired temperature. It's on off. Coming over here, your fridge, turn that on. Just mount it off there, controls for that inside. Prep for a TV up here. Oh, just cable. A couple USB ports, more lighting. Our bunk room, bed will fold out the same way. I recommend these top bunks that hold like these, that when you travel with them down. I believe it's safer to have it on this strong bar than it is just to have it in a hole in here. More individual lighting. Of the mid bunk idea, you have prep for a TV here. Again, this is on its own slide, which is this one here. Loft area. Of course, I fold down to get up in here. You also prep for a TV up here. Bathroom. Lighting. 110 with GFCI reset. A little plumbing to maintain. There's your access panel to your plumbing. Keep an eye on that. Make sure that hasn't wiggled loose going down the road. You do have a power exhaust vent in here. Hand crank open. Make sure your door is snapped open for travel. And lastly, the bedroom. Just want to make sure that you close your closet doors for travel. Prep for a TV here as well. Use some storage under your bed. Your own thermostat for this AC. Let's turn it on. Shut that off. Individual lighting, and you can bring in this slide from back here. Well, that about covers everything on the inside. Let's act like we're leaving the campsite and close the unit up. I like to start by walking through and shutting off lights. If I shut off this individual inside living room lights, I can now see all the lighting that I need to go through and shut off by hand. Also need to shut off these interior LED. Now, so I'm going to walk through and shut all these off. Most of them are these one touch. Shut off your fan as well. Tons of individual lighting through this unit, which is really cool because you can just leave one on at night. Make your way through the unit easier. Now I've got all my accent lighting off. My next line is doors and drawers. Come back here and turn on my interior lights and say doors and drawers. Walk through, make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede your slides from coming in. And come all the way up. We'll start back here in the bathroom, or excuse me, our bedroom. Turn my interior lights on so I can watch the bed as it comes in. You see the importance of making sure nothing's in between your slide and your bedroom in there. Start running these ones in. Slide number 1 is going to be your off-camp side. Slide number 2 is going to be your camp side. Bunk room slide. I'm going to go ahead and close this door. Shut off our interior lights and exit the unit. Biggest thing to remember on these steps, you want to make sure this door is all the way open, otherwise there's a catch on it when bringing them up. You also have adjustable feet that are adjustable through these cotter pins. Make sure that locks in there. Before you leave the dump station, I say that in case you want to check your levels on the inside. Make sure you lock and deadbolt your door, lift and turn this handle. Alright, let's head on over to the off-camp side. If we are boondocking, we're going to get up underneath here and dump that freshwater drain. Bring up our stabilizing jacks and head on home. Let's talk about bringing them up and hooking back up. So we're going to go back into manual mode again. Manual mode, stabilizers, make sure them are all retract. Go back to manual mode. We're going to hit retract, and whichever ones we have up, we're going to bring back, or whichever ones we have down, we're going to bring back up. Once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and hit retract or extend to bring our front ones up. We're going to go back. Okay, go back to the main here. Let's get back into our initial one. Back into manual mode again. Home screen. Now we're going back into landing gear. Now we're going to extend or retract until we get that back to the height that we want it. Once we hook up hitch, got our hitch hooked up, head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump's going to be right in front of your tires on your off-camp side. 10-foot hose comes with your convenience pack. Hook that up. Come on up front here and pull your front black handle. That's going to be your sewage holding tank. When it sounds like that's no longer draining, go ahead and go inside, check the levels of your black tank. If it shows empty, leave that black handle open. Come out here, grab the hose at the dump station, and hook up to this black tank flush. Again, emphasizing that sewage tank handle open. Turn that hose on, let it run for a good 5 minutes, and wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, close that. Make sure all that washout you just put in there has drained. Close your black handle, pull your gray handle. That's going to be cleaner water as your sinks and your showers. It's going to help clean your sewage hose out. When that was done, close that hose handle. And lastly, come down here and pull your galley tank. Now, while your galley tank is draining, I like to go around and dump all my low point drains. This one here, you would get up underneath there and open them up. When them are done, if we're done camping for the season, we'll just come to our hot water heater. Lift up on this pressure release valve. Now be careful, it's going to dump some hot water out of there. When that's done, put that handle back down, otherwise your door won't go back on. And then pull that drain plug. When that last galley tank is done draining, remove your sewage hose and store it in a sanitary place, like your bumper. Bring it right down here, stick it in here. Store that sewage hose right here in your bumper and head on home. Again, we thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Arctic book for many years to come. Happy camping.